Hey guys, I'm E, and here's the thing. Lately in my sport video tutorials, most of my content has been camera related. I even did a GoPro giveaway, which got a lot of attention from you guys and is about to make one viewer very happy. But what that also means is that I've been neglecting the editing side of video production. So in today's video, we'll talk about transitions. See what I did there? Transitions? Anyway, today, let's talk about how to handle transitions in a sports video. By the way, I'll be using Premiere Pro in this tutorial, but all the transitions that we'll cover are pretty basic and can be done with any platform. And also later in the video, I'll announce the big winner of our GoPro Hero 6 giveaway. Alright, so when it comes to transitions, obviously it's a very subjective thing, but I'm going to try to break it down in a way that applies to most situations. But yeah, it's not a perfect recipe. The thing with sports is that you usually have so much going on in terms of action, camera movement, lots of people everywhere, probably lots of colors as well, that adding very noticeable transitions on top of that can start to feel like a bit too much. So the idea with longer form videos is to keep your transitions as seamless as possible so they don't start to feel a bit annoying after a while. And the most seamless transition of all is the good old reliable cut. It's quick, it's clean, it's effective, and if you use it the right way, you barely notice it. And I know that a cut seems like a very easy transition to use, but there's a few common mistakes that you definitely want to stay away from. For example, unless you're cutting from one location to a completely different one, you really want to avoid cutting from a wide shot to another wide shot. So what you want to do is follow every wide shot by a mid or a close-up. Usually you start with the wide as your establishing shot, letting the viewers know what's going on in terms of how many players are involved, where are the passing and scoring options, and then you punch in. As far as knowing exactly when to punch in, that's really an artistic decision at the end of the day, but in sports, the key is to accentuate your hero shots. For example, in this case, don't cut while the player is hitting the ball. Cut before or after. And there's nothing wrong with playing your hero shot twice if you've got multiple angles. For example, here, the hero shot is the fancy ball handling before the actual goal. So you can play the wide establishing shot, add a couple more replays from different angles, and then finish on the goal. Alright, so enough about cuts, let's get into the slow stuff. Let's say you're doing an emotional piece, perhaps an homage to a player that's retiring, or a piece about someone celebrating some type of milestone. You're most likely to do this type of video with a slower and more emotional type of music track. And in that case, your go-to transition is going to be the dissolve. So again, I'm going to give you a few tips on what to do and what not to do when using a dissolve transition in the context of a sports video. The first thing not to do is basically the same as with a cut. You shouldn't do a dissolve between two similar shots. You need the framing to be different. And ideally, you want your shots to be kind of a mirror of each other. By that I mean that you want one shot to have a lot of dead space on one side and the next shot to have dead space on the other side. That way it doesn't get too busy during the transition and it's completely seamless. Another trick to make a dissolve fluid and seamless if you don't have access to lens blur transitions is to make the first shot more blurry as the dissolve goes on. Or you can make the second shot start blurry and gradually go back to normal. Both these options can be done either when you're filming by playing with the focus on your camera, or in post-production by adding a lens blur filter on your footage that you then keyframe the way you like. Alright, so this is pretty much the basic of transitions when it comes to editing sports content. Obviously there's plenty of plugins that you can buy out there to make your transitions much more spectacular with glitch effects and lens flares and all that good stuff. But personally, I'm not against it. I've used them and I still do. But I do believe that less is more. I also believe that effect transitions should be used to add value to your footage, For example, if I'm about to introduce some old archive footage, it totally makes sense to use a VHS glitch effect as my transition. Or if I'm going from video to still, it makes sense to use a flash transition. But anyway, as I mentioned before, this is all very subjective. But one thing that isn't though, is the name of the winner of our latest giveaway. In case you don't know, we ran a GoPro Hero 6 giveaway over the last couple of weeks on YouTube, to which over 200 people responded. So thanks to all of them. Thank you especially for all the kind words that you guys wrote in the comments. I know I said a lot in my replies, but it is so greatly appreciated. But unfortunately, there can only be one winner, and the winner is Mathieu Johns Lacaille, which I can only assume is half Australian and half French. Anyway, congratulations Mathieu, your brand new GoPro Hero 6 is on its way, and to the rest of y'all, make sure you subscribe and follow this channel so you don't miss the next giveaway, which should be pretty soon. Peace!